Growing up in northern Alabama, Steve Hill was bad news.
Steve was ruthless, okay? When I say that, I mean ruthless, okay?
Here was a guy that was, just like she said, he had long hair, he was just oozing attitude.
We were down and out drug addicts. We had tracks in our arms from shooting dope. We were selling our blood at blood banks. There were some crimes that involved guns. We just were not very good people. The thing is if there was drugs involved and we wanted it, we'd find a way to get the money. And it didn't matter at whose expense it was.
Arrested numerous times and facing a lifetime of drug addiction, burglary, and prison, God led a man into Steve's path.
I get this phone call from his mother, from Ann, and she says, Vicar, you got to get over here right away. And I said, what's wrong? She said, Steve's having convulsions. You need to come right now. His eyeballs, I'd never seen anything like it, but his eyeballs even, were just like jumping inside of the sockets. He was in convulsions. He was scared. When the first time I'd met him, he was all attitude. And this time when I met him, he was just like, he was absolutely scared to death. And as soon as we prayed, it was just like, it stopped just like that. He looked up at me, he said, what happened? What happened? Just like that. And it was just like, the words came out of my mouth. They weren't even my own words, but the words came out of my mouth. I said, the kingdom of God has come upon you.
At a court hearing in which the police expected Steve to be sent away for years, an astonishing thing happened. He was sentenced into the custody of a caring Christian man at a drug rehab center.
That first day that Steve walked on that property as a teenager in 1969, it was a divine appointment. I didn't know where it was going to come to. And I never dreamed that I would see this man again in 1975 in a Madison County jail behind bars. And then to stand in a courtroom before a judge and saying, God, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for this man? I don't know. I know that there's something changed in his life. And I remember when the judge said, Steve, beyond my better judgment, and if you don't complete this program, you're going to spend many years in the penitentiary. I'm going to probate you to this ministry, Outreach Ministries.
Steve went from being a druggie at a rehab center to being a missionary in Argentina and an evangelist around the world, ministering with his prayer partner and wife, Jerry, and blessed with a loving family. Steve is focused on seeing the lost meet Jesus.